Our first story, yet another shocker from Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav. The Samajwadi Party Supremo said women exploit the new anti-rape law to settle scores with boys who reject them. Yadav went a step ahead and promised that his party would change these laws if his party assumed power. India is demanding Mulayam Singh Yadav's apology.
तो लड़की जाके ब्याह देती मेरे साथ रेप किया अब बेचारे को 3 को फांसी हो गई क्या रेप में फांसी दी जाएगी 3 लड़के हैं गलती हो जाती है.
The Samajwadi Party chief's words of encouragement for rapists. Insensitive, insulting, utterly regressive. Mulayam Singh Yadav blames girls for lodging false complaints to avenge relationships gone sour. Mr. Yadav believes in leniency for rapists. He says boys make mistakes sometimes. Why hang them? Slamming the death penalty for 3 Mumbai rape convicts, Mulayam sympathized with them, calling them victims of circumstances.
तो 3 को भी फांसी दे दी बम्बई में. अब सोचिए आप ऐसे कानूनों को बदलने की कोशिश की जाएगी तो उपयोग करने वालों को सजा देंगे और झूठ रिपोर्ट करने वालों को भी सजा का प्रावधान किया जाए.
The nation is angry, Mr. Yadav. The nation demands an apology. How low can our politicians stoop to get votes? How long will the electorate suffer and vote for such netas who attack India's women? Bureau Report, headlines today.
Let's quickly try to find out what is India's mood. We are in fact joined in by Indrajit Kundu from Kolkata, Vikash Mishra from Mumbai, as well as Rohini also joining us. I want to come across to you, Indrajit. Just speak to a couple of youngsters in your background. Do they agree with the way the SP chief is actually speaking?
Well, as far as the sense that we are getting here in Kolkata is concerned, it is clearly against his comments. We have a few youngsters. What do you think about Mulayam Singh's comments today about rape laws being misused?
I think his comments were highly insensitive in nature, keeping in mind that the number of crimes that are increasing in the country and the country coming to no solution towards it. So I think his comment is basically encouraging those perpetrators, and I think he should basically apologize for his comments.
Do you think he is trying to trivialize the matter?
See what he said, these issues are basically nominal in numbers, so no point trivializing. He should apologize for it.
And do you believe that the rape laws, the new anti-rape law, which is really strict, do women misuse it, as Mulayam Singh Yadav seems to be claiming? Or do you think such statements from such senior politicians only encourage people who indulge in such crimes?
Yes, women are misusing the laws. They are misusing them.
You think they can misuse them, or do you believe that it only encourages people, such comments only encourage people who indulge in such crime? It's a very serious
Actually,
issue.
they misuse because they got the upper hand, they got the advantage. So nowadays only girls can do anything. Like they just walk to the police station, they can say a guy slapped me and molested me, and they got an upper advantage, so they can misuse.
So there you have it, opinions clearly divided as far as Mulayam Singh Yadav's comments are concerned, and perhaps that's the reason why many politicians try to use or leverage this feeling amongst the men as well as the women, while women feel that it's trivializing the matter and the cases of misuse is very nominal, and therefore it only encourages crime against women, while a section of men also believe that they are being discriminated against and the laws are very much highly stacked against men.
Okay.
Back to you.
Okay, Indrajit, when a chief of a political party actually makes a comment like that, that is what becomes a major cause of worry, and that is the sentiment that has been resonated by those 2 women also who are with you. Rohini Swami is also with me. Now, Rohini, what really is the sense on the ground? What do people have to say about this comment that has been made by Mulayam Singh Yadav? You could start by asking them, should Mulayam Singh Yadav apologize first of all?
Well, that's the most important thing, because when I have been speaking to people, the first thing they said is that's not fair. He should not be making a comment of that sort, and then definitely he should apologize. If I can ask you, with the statement that has been made by Mulayam Singh Yadav, do you think he should apologize to the country and to the women of the country?
Of course he should, and I think he represents the Indian citizens, and it's very disappointing to hear from such a person that he thinks in such a conservative way.
Also, how do you look at it at this point of time? Because the fact he says that he will see to that the anti-rape law is not misused, and this is a part of the political campaign. Would you want to vote for a political leader of this side?
Most absolutely not. In fact, I think that it is a mockery to the Indian laws and legislations that a person, when all the other parties are really trying to strengthen their women empowerment laws and rules and policies, we have this one individual who says that, it's always the women's fault because the men will be men. I think that's that's the most, careless remark that any politician at this point in time could really.
Careless remark, but he's also made another remark saying that the death penalty that has been given, especially for the accused in the Mumbai rape case, and he said that he should not have been given death penalty. How do you look at that? Because the courts have sat down, seen the whole case, and then they have announced the verdict they have.
Yes, as far as I know, that Shakti the guys who found in the rape in the Shakti mills, they have repeatedly committed such crime, and because of the law is not that stringent, the guys are getting encouragement or no, they're not, they're just getting away with the system and the laws. That's why I think it's very important to, the law should be stringent, that you should, they should not allow them to commit such crimes again and again.
Laws should be very stringent, but I have these two young boys also been extremely vocal. आप मुलायम सिंह यादव की जो statement है उसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे? What would you like to react? How do you like to react?
Yeah, he is giving such a word. Then what do you expect from such a leader? Because they are empowering the strength of that person only. Then
आप ऐसे politician को आप vote करेंगे?
कभी नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. ऐसे कभी नहीं करना चाहेंगे.
आपको लगता है कि आप मुलायम सिंह यादव को apologize? हाँ जी.
No, one thing I just want to ask what Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, if the same scene would have happened with his family members, what would be his decision in that case?
Well, that's the most important question. If it happened to a family member from Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav's family itself, then how would he have reacted? And that's the kind of voice and that's the kind of voices we are hearing because people are very, very angry.
Absolutely, Rohini. And
but there's a cross-section of people here I have in Bangalore.
Absolutely, Rohini. If Bangalore feels that way and Kolkata too feels that way, I really wonder what citizens from across the country must be feeling at this moment on this particular statement. Vikash Mishra is also joining us from the Mumbai headquarters. Now, Vikash, I believe you have a representative of a political party. You might want to ask her or him. They are a member of a political party. They might criticize what Mulayam Singh Yadav has said or, will say or has in fact said traditionally in the past also. What will they do? Will they go beyond just criticizing Mulayam Singh Yadav?
Before I answer your question, Sanket, or go to the political leader of Aam Aadmi Party, Preeti Sharma, it is being termed as one of the most bizarre statements made by Mulayam Singh Yadav in his political history. I have been joined by Preeti Sharma. Preeti, you have heard what Mulayam Singh said, and it was on the context of Shakti Mill, the decision which came in, and he is protecting the rapist and attacking the victim. What you have to say, apart from your political ideology, will you go ahead and do something apart from making a political statement?
No, this is not about a political statement. This is a shocking state of affairs which the country is in, where a person who has been the chief minister of the largest state of this country, a person who has been a cabinet minister, has such... I can't even say that these are patriarchal views. These are perverted, twisted views. And that he is thriving in the system. That is the appalling part. That a person like this is still thriving in our system. What is the election commission doing? What is happening to our society? There is Sharad Pawar inciting people to bogus voting. There is the Congress person saying boti boti tod do. There is a BJP person saying revenge ke liye ladai karo. And now Mulayam Singh is saying that it's okay to rape. This has reached such a low that it makes us realize that the model code of conduct is a farce and people can do anything during election time. All these stories...
Should he apologize?
He has to not just apologize, he should be punished. They should be punished. The model code of conduct has no teeth. He should be punished immediately. His apology is immaterial because we will not accept it. There is no apology that is possible when he has said something like that. He has said that it is okay for women to be raped. And what is also brought out is there are two more important aspects of rape which we have not yet touched upon, which is when people seduce women and rape them. It's not always violent rape. And there is domestic marital rape as well. So there are different ways in which women get abused, and those things Indian society has not yet dealt with, and it should be dealt with as harshly as violent rape. And that is what is important for us to focus on
beyond making the noise?
what to do. What will be action? You are making statement right now. What will be action? Will you go to election commission? Will you go take it to police? You make a complaint about it?
See, we'll have to discuss with the party over there. I'm here in Maharashtra, so I don't know what action they will take. But we totally condemn it and we say that there is no apology expected or required. There has punishment required. Now it's time for punishment.
This is what, Sanket, you heard from Aam Aadmi Party. They are saying they will consult the senior political member of the party and they will take the matter ahead and probably they will complain about it to the election commission as well. Sanket,
right. Let's see if they actually do that. Vikash, Indrajit as well as Rohini, thank you very much for joining us and getting us the Vox Populi, the voice of the people on this particular statement. Let me also quickly go across to Pierre Fitter, who joins us from the Info Center. I believe there are a lot of tweets, Pierre, which are doing the rounds with this statement that has been made by Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Plenty, Sanket. And you know, very similar to the kind of voices you've been hearing from Mumbai and from Bangalore. I just want to get you first a set of tweets from just ordinary people across India who've heard what Mulayam Singh Yadav said and are reacting to it. Karthik Kumar says, apparently power in politics supersedes basic decency and humanity if the medieval mentality of Mulayam Singh Yadav is an indication. One person called Manojava says it's a shame hang his political career by voting out Mulayam and his party. 24 years of his political career has made him an animal, he says. Of course, he also adds he wants Modi in power. Samreen Samera says, good that Mulayam Singh Yadav made this comment bang in the middle of the elections. People are reminded of what he and his party stand for before voting. And we also have someone called Aryan who says it's an insult to call Mulayam Netaji. We had only one Netaji, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Stop calling Mulayam Netaji is what he has to say there.
All right, so very sharp reaction that has come in on Twitter as well. Now, Mulayam Singh Yadav is no stranger to controversies. We get you only 4 instances when he has shot off his mouth. Incident number 1. How can you expect a better law and order in UP with 21 crore population? That is what Mulayam Singh Yadav has had to say. December 2013, no riot victim in camps of Muzaffarnagar, only conspirators planted by the BJP and the Congress. In May 2013, he says, the Chinese entered 1 kilometer inside the Indian territory when I was defense minister. I directed Indian forces to drive them out. We entered 4 kilometers inside Chinese territory. And in November 2012, he actually said, only girls and women from affluent class can go up. Rural women will not get a chance because you are not as attractive as they are. Straight from the horse's mouth.